Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly Dungeon Master today. Today, we're carrying on with our quarantine campaign, playing Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition, backwards edition, playing the 2013 adventure, Legacy of the Crystal Shard. We are also making liberal use of material from Wizards of the Coast's most recent, at least at the time of recording, adventure, and that would be Icewind Dale Rime of the Frost Maiden. So if you are intending on playing Rime of the Frost Maiden, this session will likely have spoilers in it, or at least some content from that. So if you don't want to have that spoiled for you, be sure to come back another time and enjoy this after you've had a chance to experience the adventure yourself. If you don't intend on playing Rime of the Frost Maiden, or you don't care about Rime of the Frost Maiden, well then welcome. Let me introduce you to the Quarantine Crusaders themselves, the stars of the Legacy of the Crystal Shard campaign. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what level are you currently? First up, we have John.
Hey everyone, I am John, and I'm playing Falcarol Hawkfriend. He is a ranger cleric, well, more like specialty priest of Solinar. I can't turn undead. I'm level 6 in both classes.
Very nice. Next up is Arlen.
Hi, I'm Arlen, and I'm playing Gorwyn, who is a level 6 elven fighter.
Very nice. And last but certainly not least is Mo.
Hi, I'm Morris. I'm playing Thomas Branner, who is a 7th level fighter. 0th level Griffin Rider, I think. He's a 7th level human fighter from the southern towns.
Mm-hmm. So, the last couple of sessions, guys, have been fairly eventful, even as far as life goes in the Icewind Dale. John, did you miss both of them, or did you miss only the last one?
Last time we were fighting flying kite things in the wind.
Oh man, so you've missed you missed a bit then.
Oh.
So, Mo, would you like to do the honors of telling the guys what's happened over the last little bit? I can prompt with one visual aid here.
Yeah. So, right, going back a couple of sessions, we actually made our way deep inside Frostmelt, which is
Evermelt.
Sorry, Evermelt. Sorry,
it's actually on the screen.
We effectively shimmied down into a big cave. We did have a rather clever use of web to provide a platform for us to climb down and then swing and land on the web. Unfortunately, everyone made it apart from myself, who, on the last roll, completely muffed it and fell straight into the lake to the bottom. Banded mail as a peel plate will do that for you. And I landed next to a dragon. In the cavern, we also saw one of our acquaintances from the elk tribe being taken out and chained up, presumably for a sacrifice. We then had a fight with the dragon and its mistress, the Frost Maiden, who had transformed quite considerably from when we had seen her before.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously getting more and more taken over by Auril. After a very difficult fight, in fact, where a lot of us were trying to desperately climb up a snowbank to try and get through, and I think it was only one of us that actually, Lex, managed to dispatch the White Witch, or at least not dispatch her, but maybe put her to rest for a while. These things never completely die.
With some help from a fireball from Grim.
Oh yes, the
Grim's first
the
fireball.
Debut fireball.
Yeah.
So we then returned to, I think it was Hightower.
No, you guys left Evermelt, and you guys had met.
We messed the refugees, yes. In the Frost Witch's camp of supporters, which appeared to be. They appear to have had a bit of intersign killing. There are a lot of dead bodies and a few survivors left. We're not sure whether this fighting happened when she died or was suppressed. We then met some of the survivors, including Ostin's father, I believe.
Osin is from the bear tribe.
Yes.
So what you met was the king of the elk tribe, his shaman, and then a bunch of surviving members. What you did meet was the White Witch's father, Soren.
Yes. Who had been ostracized for his daughter's fall.
Yep.
I suppose. And we did have quite a long discussion with various people trying to point out that you can't really blame the father of his daughter.
Yeah.
Tom was also putting the point that, well, she had been very badly treated, so possibly if that hadn't happened, she wouldn't have been driven into the arms of the White Witch. I think we did manage to resolve some of the inter-group tensions.
Yeah.
And I believe that the White Witch's father is not quite such an outcast in the tribe anymore. But I think the elk tribe are quite reduced in numbers. Presumably there are other elk tribe members elsewhere. But,
scattered as well. So the guys sent message to with Jellicoe. Jellicoe sent word back to Hightower or Sky Tower Shelter, and the not only did the flight of griffins come back, Chieftain Rockfist, Arn Rockfist, came with them as well, along with a bunch of extra griffins. And what you guys had decided was that, well, for one, I mean, when you talk to a shaman, there was consensus that it was likely she wasn't dead. That this likely was another avatar. When she died, she fell into a heap of snow and slush like she did before. And the visions that everyone had of the place on the ice, what the shaman suggested was that this may have been linked to a place of power that was used by the Jotun back in times of old, a place out in the sea of trackless ice. Now, the finding where that is akin to picking one snowflake out in a blizzard. So that is just, traditional means will not be a good way. However, what they mention is that the dwarves are said to have some of the secrets of old, and there is a place where you can consult with the past kings of the Jotun, and then they may have the secrets of where to find this place. So what the party decided on was to, because going by Griffin, I'm just zooming out here, going by Griffin, it works out to be about 2 days of travel from Evermelt to the Dwarven Valley. Whereas if you're going over land, obviously it's going to be a lot longer. However, because you can't take everyone with you, all of your allies, the Goliath allies, and Osten are going to travel with the survivors of the elk tribe. Excuse me. Oh, my goodness, that's so rude. Sorry. And then follow the river, basically reverse the route that you guys took, but cut across the northern end of Lactian Ashir, and take refuge in the northern end of the Dwarven Valley. So that's where we left things. If you guys have now, your characters obviously would have been there throughout the whole, that whole discussion, Gorwin and Falcarol. So if you guys have anything else you want to ask about or anything you want to discuss, you can feel free to do that now.
Wow, we missed a lot. We missed a dragon fight. Dang it.
It was busy, yeah.
Yeah, we did more than muff our search for treasure rolls, though. Sorry, a bit metagaming. Yes. So,
yeah. What are you guys thinking? Gorwin or Falcro, anything further you wish to ask of the elk tribe or of anyone else? What seemed to have happened with the bear is that they broke. It seems like there were some issues with there were corpses of some members of the bear tribe and some of those black ice berserkers that were left here, almost as if the berserkers may have lost some of the control that was present before, but yeah, otherwise they've left Evermelt and have made their way somewhere. I mean, the Ragged tribes, this is their land, so like it's not hard for them to disappear and then reconvene at another point. So
were we able to warn them of the black ice and get it away from them?
From
the rest of the tribes in the area?
No, I mean, they've disappeared. So you don't know what's happened with the black ice or with them or whatever.
Okay. No. Yeah, at that point, I don't have anything else to add.
Gorwin?
I'm trying to think. Is Hengar, the original Elk Tribe member, around? Did he make it back and all that sort of stuff? Because I have his amulet that I'd like to return to.
Yeah, he's the one who was going to be sacrificed. He was frozen.
Oh.
Yeah. I can show you here. I'll show you guys where the fight happened, because there's a cool little map right in here. Let me just put on global illumination. Or did I? Did I already? Let's see here.
Looks like it.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So where you guys were fighting was in this big room here.
Nice.
Yeah. And then just like in that, when you fought her in a snowstorm, there were, in the Caves of Hunger where you were seeing those deep shadows deep in the ice in the glacier. Things were coming forward like that and then breaking out. So there were waves and waves and waves of undead that were coming out of the walls.
No. Flashing back now.
Yeah. Maybe it's best I missed it. Yeah, but our heroes triumphed. Bocho Tall Shadow is now, now known as, Bocho's second life, because Bocho actually died during the thing as well, too, and as did Agalia, your druid thief who came to replace, what's her name? The Airsat's Conan girl. But Bocho was brought back by the blessings of Myliki, because during the fight, Dave's character rolled his nat 20. We rolled in the chart and it said reinforcements, and the way I chose to interpret that was that Bocho came back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lucky Goliath.
Most assuredly. Not many can survive, a white dragon's breath. Okay, so then, if there is nothing else, what do you guys want to do today, then?
Is there any wounds that need patched up, or shall we take to the skies?
Let's take a look at you guys here. Valkyro, you're down a little bit. Gorwin, you are down a little bit. I think everyone... Oh, so Tom is still down a fair bit. It looks like.
Presumably we would have slept. I think we actually did.
No, unless it happened. Remember, Mo, unless it happened on screen, it didn't happen, so...
No.
Gotcha.
Well, it depends if we're going to go immediately or have another day to recuperate and get to know our griffins, I would imagine.
It depends on how urgent you feel that the matter is. One of the things, it was Kola who, when they were discussing who might have that, remember that Dumathoin, the god, the dwarven god about the secrets. You met someone, Adrik, back in the Dwarven Valley, who was a priest of Dumathoin. And the thought is that you could go there and...
Yeah, Valkyrie votes for not sticking around. Just, linking things up in the past with the bad weather we've seen. He firmly believes that if we wait too long, the witch will
Yeah,
send
good
more
point.
bad weather.
What's the weather like today for flying?
Oh, let's find out. Oh, where is... hold on, we're going to use... Give me a sec. Forgot. Oh. Blah.
Yeah, presumably we're going to have to... We can't take everything with us like we did when we had the pack ram, so we're going to have to travel light.
That's okay with me.
Sorry, because it was co-written by one of our buddies.
Frostburn.
Yeah. We're using this for weather for now. So, okay, so why don't you guys... Let's see what we are expecting today.
I think I'm banned from rolling after the last time.
That tends to go around. You know who's really good at rolling weather? Brent. Last night he did great with Night Below. Sunny skies. It's beautiful. Who wants to roll for just a 1 percentile roll, please?
I'll do it.
There you go. Okay. So it's cold, but calm today.
Alrighty. Well, let's spread some healing magic around, shall we?
Okay. What do you wish to do here?
Moderate on Tom.
Okay.
And another one. Puts him up 15 hit points. And then I'll give a Cure Light to Gorwin. Oh, and one for myself.
Okay.
Well, 2 for myself then. There we go.
All right, met with the elk people.
Now,
Got some healing.
2 and 3.
so you guys now also each have your own griffin. What are you naming your griffins?
Oh. I made a post about that, and I don't forget the name. I think it was it Frostwing?
If you're naming it after the winter, that does sort of venerate Auril. Then.
Oh, okay. Let's not do that then.
I mean, if you want to tempt fate like that, by all means.
Yeah, let's not do
Yeah,
Frostwing.
Frostwing was your call sign, I think.
I only thought about it because, I'm wielding the speedy halberd of ice that,
Yep. Okay. So what I'm asking you guys to do, let's figure out how many hit points. Okay, so each of you give us a 7d8 roll, please. Okay, let me get this set up here. All right. Okay. And, all right, so John, 37. Nice. All right. And I think, let's see here, I think that should work. Oh, I didn't hold up. Let's see here. Nameplate. There we go. And there is, boom. Gorwin's, same stats. Let me just change who's controlling it. There you go, Gorwin. You got control over yours. And Mo, 28. Okay. All right. And there we go. Go and oh, nice! You got your name already. Cool. Yeah, if you go ahead and rename the griffins if you like, guys. Okay. Then, I mean, is there anything further? It looks like it's going to be a pleasant day today. Are you guys ready to head out off towards the Dwarven Valley? We have a scooch here. Yes, no?
I think so.
Fantastic.
Anything else we need to do, guys?
I don't believe so.
Oh, here, I'll give you guys the stats, too. So, the armor class of your mount is a 3. The Thaco is a 13. And they have 3 attacks. 2 claws, 1 beak. The claws do 1d4 damage each. The beak does 2d8 damage.
Okay.
They are large-sized creatures as well. That may
What was
be
the Thaco? I
evident.
didn't quite catch that on the...
Which one, sorry?
The Thaco?
Thaco is 17. Oh, sorry, 13.
Okay, not bad. And the claw damage was
1d4.
Or...
And the beak is 2d8.
Yeah, okay, got it.
When flying, it has a movement of, let's see here, it's got to be more than that. It's divided by 3, multiplied by 5, right? That's what I've been doing?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So divide by... Oh, wait. That can't be right.
No,
no,
it's not. It looks like... Okay, so...
Divide by 3, multiplied by 10?
I think maybe?
I think that's right?
Let me look at my...
Yeah, because 20 is the dwarven movement, and human movement is 40. And then it's 12 is the standard movement. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, so, wow. Then, guys, the flight movement of a griffin divided by 3 multiplied by 10 is 100.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Do you have a listed land speed?
Same as human.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Now, the one thing that... where is it here? You need to be mindful of is... Hold on here. The turn speed. Because when they are on their own, it's not really a concern for them, but when they are mounted, they are less maneuverable. And where is it here? Here we go, aerial combat. Okay, so when you guys are mounted on them, forward movement must be at least half their movement rate. So they need to be moving 50 feet forward every round in order to maintain flight while you guys are mounted on them. And turns are limited to 60 degrees in a single round.
Very much a zoom and boom type fight.
Mm-hmm. So, and just if we were doing Theater of the Mind, they can make one pass every 3 rounds. So that's how much time it takes them to zoom around and come down again. Okay. And then, guys, with that, it's a 30, my goodness. That'll get you... Wow, you guys are going to be supping on the shores of Lac de Nashir this morning, or tonight. Okay, check for encounters.
I am going to have recovered my lance from the stash of stuff we left at Sky Tower.
Okay. At Sky Tower or at... like, if you left it at Sky Tower, they can't... I mean, I suppose they could bring it with you, but do you mean the stash on the glacier, on the Ragged Glacier, or do you mean...
No. I was thinking the heavy stuff we left behind at Sky Tower.
They can't bring it. It's griffins. They can't bring...
No, I'm just going to take the weapon. because I left the lance behind when we went to Evermelt.
Again, Mo, are you talking about you left it at Sky Tower Shelter, or you left it in the glacier?
No, Sky Tower Shelter.
Okay. So, you didn't think to mention that to them. You didn't know you were getting a griffin before. What do you
No,
say?
but I had them before. I've done a lance attack on the battle rams.
Right, but you guys don't have a mount. Would your character have asked for the lance to be brought with him, not knowing that he was going to have a mount?
So where did we leave the battle rams then?
In Sky Tower Shelter.
Yeah, it was with the rams, with all the heavy stuff.
Yes, that's not the point. The point is that your character didn't know he was going to get a griffin and didn't know he had a mount. Would he have specifically requested a lance to be brought if he thought he was going to be walking?
I thought we got to Sky Tower with...
Hold on. No,
rams.
no. Just answer my question. Like, do you think that he would have done that? Because I don't think, I mean, what conceivable reason would he have had for requesting that specific weapon if he didn't know he was getting a mount?
I was using it when we were using the rams. So remind me, did we travel by rams to Sky Tower Shelter?
No, you guys traveled by griffin here.
Initially. Okay, we'll leave it then.
Do you genuinely not remember that, Mo? Because
I thought we spent
that's how you
ages
guys...
traveling to Sky Tower.
No.
When we arrived there the first time?
When you arrived there the first time, you left everything there. And then the reason you guys were able to get to Evermelt so quickly is because the Goliaths in Sky Tower Shelter transported you by griffin. Do you remember that?
Oh, sorry, right. So we're traveling from Evermelt to the Dwarven Valley.
Yeah, I mean, like, Mo, there's a token.
Sorry, I didn't realise where we were. Sorry.
There's a token on the map that represents where your party is, if that helps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So we'll just leave the heavy stuff behind at Sky Tower then. Okay.
Yeah, I just don't like it's. I'm not trying to take something away from you, Mo, but like, you know, we've been pretty clear.
No,
with...
sorry, I thought we'd gone back to Sky Tower to have some conversations, but
No.
I didn't realize. I'd forgotten that we were going direct from here.
No.
No, that's okay.
Okay. So then, what, guys, what, oh, I was rolling for, I was distracted, hold on. I was rolling for encounters today. So I know the weather is going to be good, but... Alright, guys, so, unless there is anything else you wish to do before you set out, last train before Griffintown is leaving. Anyone have anything else they wish to pick up? Anyone have any supplies they want to secure?
So we've got some rations with us. What's the sort of the load limit on a Griffin for interest?
Assume that you can't have anything extra apart from yourselves. Griffins,
and weapons and stuff. Okay, so
what you can carry, your own personal baggage. That's it. These things are they are big creatures, but they need to keep you aloft. So what you're wearing and what you're carrying is going to be the limit. They can't have anything extra. No saddlebags. No any extra stuff.
All right.
Well, I've got, if it's small enough, and I'll grab my bag and upturn it again. A couple water skins and a rope falls out, and I'll say, "This doesn't seem to work like other bags. Somehow the weight that you put in it doesn't I keep it on my belt and it doesn't weigh on me. So if you got something small, I might be able to put it in here.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not worried about it, hanging out with some water skins, because that's what I keep in there.
Maybe we could take some iron rations with us. I think we had a few of those left.
So I'd be a little worried about food put in here just because we don't know what it does.
What do you guys have in terms
you want to eat the iron rations, that's okay.
I actually don't think you guys have had iron rations for
all right, so we've just got the elk and the other stuff we've hunted.
Let's see. We had Bojo was carrying 24 from the last count, but
oh,
I don't know if
yeah.
I don't know if it was upkeeping it since I was gone those two sessions.
No, you guys were able to eat the supplies in that were left behind by the bear tribe in the last bit. So yeah, so you guys could take that, and you could take the firewood with you as well too. That'll fit into Gorwin's haversack.
Okay.
Well, just wondering if we were forced down and had to, wait out a snowstorm.
Oh, yeah.
Just as long as we got some food and something with us.
Okay.
I'll put the iron rations and the firewood in the bag. Okay, here we go.
All right. So, guys, with that, I believe you guys are ready to set out. So, I think that even in spite of the many miles that lead between, or lay between, I should say, yourselves and the Dwarven Valley, Kelvin's Cairn, that massive peak in the middle of the Icewind Dale, is a very easy landmark to be maneuvering towards. Valkyra, Mo was asking if you're good for arrows.
Yes, I see.
Because I bought some more, so if we're short, I can share them around.
I've got about 40 on me. I'm good.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. I know some people were running out, so I think that might have been Lex. Right, okay.
All right. So, with that, I mean, it's the Griffins are a little skittish right now. Does anyone have... I'm assuming no one has mounts or the riding aerial mounts.
No, the only thing
I've got riding, not...
Okay.
Closest I got would be animal handling, but these seem more...
totally different set of skills. All right, so...
But I am a falconer, so I don't know if that'll translate.
No. No.
Yeah, you can't get them to sit on your wrist.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm going to just check to make sure my kit doesn't do anything with griffins, but go on.
Sure. Okay, so then with that, you guys set out. So, you can picture that the Griffin, or the Goliaths who came, the riders from Sky Tower Shelter, the Akhenathi tribe, they are clan. They are all a little amused watching you guys getting on these things for the first time. One of them kind of, flaps its wings, and you can picture these things are enormous, and I mean, they're predators, right? Like, these things are normally fearsome, wild, animals. For this, though, they're able to, with some coaxing and some careful attention, you're finally able to get yourselves onto them. And then with the wings spread, and once all of you guys are mounted, they skitter forward for a couple of steps and then take to the air. And you guys are out 200 feet above the surface and flying your way towards Kelvin's Cairn. You guys are about here. Everything looks like... I'll leave it to you guys to decide sort of how your characters are processing this. I don't think any of you have ever... Well, you flew before when you were passengers on it, but it's just not quite the same thing when you were at the reins of a griffin. And I think that the griffins are likely going to be exploiting your inexperience a little bit. So there's a little more a little more playing around, as it were, in the air than what they may have done under the guidance or the control of a more experienced rider. Nothing dangerous, mind you, or at least nothing that will cause you to make any saves or anything, but there's a couple of moments where your stomach is quite firmly in your throat as they dive down. But after an hour or so of travel, you've kind of got an idea of what to experience. You have all been supplied the necessary wind, like the scarves and stuff like that to protect yourselves, because the winds up here, setting aside how cold it is normally, the winds are quite strong up here, and you guys could get some pretty vicious frostbite if you were, not protected. But let's see here. Why don't each of you give us a wisdom check, please? Let's see who spots something.
And if anybody wants me to, I can do Endure Cold on us, just in case.
Oh, sure. Would you have done that beforehand, Fakro, or...?
Knowing how cold it gets up there, I would have offered it, yes.
Okay. How long does it last again? 6 hours?
7 hours at my level.
7 hours, okay.
And because of my... Let's see, where is it? There it is.
Okay. Okay, so Falcarel, you're going along, and what you see below you, quite far below you, are some, at first what you think are figures walking along, but it becomes clear as you kind of focus your attention, they are not carrying any supplies, they are not walking in a regular formation, and they seem to be shambling along, and when you guys pass overhead, the griffin cries out, and one of them, its head snaps back and looks up at you guys, and what you can see,
oh no.
However, it is 200 feet below you. It could do nothing, and you very, very quickly outpace them. But you can see that they are wandering across the ice, and they are headed in a northwestern direction. But that is early in the morning. Apart from that, you guys encounter nothing else throughout the day. And by the time that evening comes, you are coming to rest on the northern shores of Lac de Nashir.
Well, Falcarel, for one, is highly enjoying this. He's never seen the sky from a falcon's position or a bird's position.
Yeah.
Yeah, he even lets his bird Havoc fly alongside us.
Okay.
For as long as it can.
Yeah, sure. And there's what's Havoc's wind speed?
Well, it's a typical hawk. Let's see.
Oh. Does it say anything? If not, I got it in the Monstrous Manual, I'm sure.
It doesn't. It didn't.
Okay, no problem.
I've only got a morale listed for him.
Yeah. So a hawk is actually faster.
Oh, good.
And more maneuverable, too. Wait, is he a falcon or a hawk?
Well, I've got him listed down as a hawk, so.
Okay. The reason I ask, falcons are actually faster.
Oh, well,
They're smaller.
I wanted a bird that was native to the icy area, so a hawk was that came across. So.
Yeah, so then it's not much faster, like not a huge amount, but he has a wind speed of 110 feet per. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's got he's a maneuver speed of B, which means that I don't think he can hover, but it's very close to it. The wind speed that they need to maintain to stay aloft is a lot lower than what the griffins do.
Nice. Okay.
So, guys, so you make your camp. Anything that you guys wish to do in your evening? Any special precautions?
I'll do my create campsite spell, but I'm gonna take some time and turn down the griffin and brush him where he needs and kind of try to bond with it a bit more.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I think we were given a quick overview of how to take the saddles on and off and vice versa.
Yeah. Okay.
One thing I forgot to add, what do griffins eat?
Whatever they choose to.
No, I just remembered we haven't, well, hopefully
you
they like iron rations rather than us.
What they say is that you kind of have to let them, if you're not bringing meals with you, and you generally don't ride griffins over long distances, what you do is you let them hunt at night. They will certainly take care of themselves.
We're not really bonded with them. I just wonder if we let them hunt, they might not come back.
Yeah. It's your rescue griffins.
Yeah, I'm fine letting the griffin go. It's one way you don't trap a creature like that, so.
Okay.
So
they will. You're not adjacent to, but you're not far away from Kerkonig, one of the communities. So I think you're far enough away that you won't need to worry about them snagging someone's goat or something like that. Because I think Kerkonig is around here-ish. It's only 4 miles away. That's probably an hour or so's worth of travel. So if you let them off, then they all take to the air and head off, leaving you guys to get your camp together. It's cold again, but after about about an hour, they come flying back, and one of them drops down a big reindeer, and all of them kind of start going to town on that. And otherwise, your evening by the northern shores of Lac des Nashir is uneventful. You can hear the cracking and the grinding of ice out on the lake. You're reminded, I suppose, a bit of this is probably very close to where you were dropped off when you guys were going to set out to Evermelt. Have you guys given some thought as to what you want to talk to the dwarves about?
Well, probably going to have to get sped up on the local politics. I mean, we left the one guy there that was trying to claim land from them for the humans. We're not even sure what we'll walk into there. But yeah.
Okay.
You guys think anything?
Well, we did have a bit of discussion last week as to whether we ought to check in with what's happening politically in the 10 towns, or just crack on and try and deal with the White Witch at source and find this Black Tower.
Yeah, honestly, I think the political system in the area is just too big of an issue for us to tackle, and the White Witch is an imminent threat.
I think that was the argument that we could spend, weeks sort of going back to the towns, trying to politically do stuff. But I think the idea was we'd go to the Dwarven Valley. And I think also we were going to, because that's where we're going to meet up with the other refugees. I think the Dwarven Valley really just to rest and recuperate, maybe buy some equipment, and then get a sounding of what's going on, and then maybe crack on to the Black Tower.
Well, isn't part of it that we don't know where the Black Tower is, so we need to find
Adrik.
Yeah, I mean,
a library or a source of knowledge.
There was that library in the Dwarven Valley that we did recover something before, and also killed all those zombies in.
The Temple of
Dumathoin.
Dumathoin, yes.
Yes. Yeah. So maybe that might be a source of potential information.
Yeah, Adrik might have fixed it up.
Well, okay, so guys, let's just, I know Arlen and John, you missed it, and Mo, maybe you missed it in last session, but the thought was that the dwarves would have information for where to find, the dwarves are not going to have information on where to find the giants, like the old Jotun stronghold that they talked about, in the Sea of Fallen Ice, that their place of power. What they would have is a place where you can get answers from the past Jotun kings, and they may have some information on how to approach that. The time of the giants is, tens of thousands of years before elves ever came to the region, or dwarves ever picked a stone. We're talking about something that is in the dawn of time for all intents and purposes, at the time before the great struggles between the giants and the dragons. And as such, it would make that fallen Netherese city that you guys have seen fragments of, it would make that place seem like a recent development. You guys are closer in time to that than what fallen Netheril is to the time of the giants, by a major, a significant measure. So to find the secrets of that very, very, very old time, at best, what you might be able to do is find a place to get answers from them. And one of the things that you have working for you is that the Jotun have kept places of power and places of respect. It's just that you need to know how to access them, and you need a way to get them to be willing to answer you. Fortunately, you guys have been boning up on your Jotun language, I think. So, it will be heavily accented as far as the Jotun and the other giants may be concerned. Some of you guys do speak the same language as the Goliaths, which is a descended version of that ancient tongue. So, does that clarify what was what the reason?
Yeah, I've completely forgotten that discussion as well.
It was a RP heavy session last time, so that's there's a lot of chat going on. Then, with that in mind, I know we're going to go back to doing 3 rolls. I realize one of the difficulties with the one out of Frostburn and a lot of other charts is it doesn't give you the option of like which chart you want to use for degrees of snowfall, types of snowfall, and Ultimate Wilderness does do that, which I like a great deal. So, go ahead and give us who wants to be our weatherman? Who's playing the role of Dave today?
I'll fill in for Dave.
Okay, so 3 percentile rolls, please. Okay. So there is going to be snow today. Oh boy. The wind is moderate, so not too bad. And it's only fog in the morning. Looks like with a 9, there is ice fog early on. So, the griffins, as they get up, they're shaking, and you can see that there's a bunch of, almost like a mist of, like little particles of ice and ice crystals that get off of their things. They're not pleased with how cold it is. Whack!
Yeah, this close to the lake, I imagine that would be spot on for weather.
Mm-hmm. And you got to imagine, too, it almost sounds like with the cracking of the ice as the water shifts beneath it, too, obscured by the fog, it almost sounds like something moaning, out there, a living thing out in the ice fog.
So I'm going to need an hour to prep spells just for what I cast yesterday.
Okay.
Well, while you're doing that, we'll get the griffins ready, get their saddles and harness sorted out. We'll do yours.
See, there are 5 other beings aside from myself. I'm prepping 5 Endure Colds. There we go.
Oh, is that for the griffins as well?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Just because they just woke up in like freezing fog and whatnot, so I am not an uncaring soul.
Okay.
Kind of assuming if we fly up, some of the fog may disappear. Who had the staff that had the direction finding thingy?
I believe the newer staff, I would have picked that up.
No, the one we had back when we were in the Dwarven Valley.
I think we gave that to Brandon had the one with the striking. I know of.
Staff
No, I
of
was just
Delving?
thinking.
Yeah.
And that went to Store right now. Store's been using that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So then, guys, unless there's anything else, you guys mount up and take to flight. Anyone have sense direction?
I do.
Would you mind?
I do not.
Give us a check here, Gorwin. Because of the darn fog. Success. Okay.
Apparently we can see the mountain.
I think that's our plan, is just try to get above the fog to where we can see.
Yeah.
What's scaring.
Okay, so, the thing is the Griffins have a very low flight ceiling.
Ah.
Right? So it's not like a, 747 when you just get to a certain level. So let's see here. So that's a great check, though. So it's 20% plus 50%. Minus 30 is 20%. 50% for overcast. All right. So there is a 35% chance of getting lost here. So why don't you give us, Gorwin, you've got the direction sense. Give us a percentile roll. You want to roll high on this one, obviously. Nice. So in spite of the fog, you can make out the rough shadow of Kelvin's Cairn. And you guys are able to make your way. Now the distance, I think it's not even going to be a full day's travel. So we get to the Dwarven Valley. That's about 2 3/4 day travel and then to get to the actual mine. So it's about a half day's travel in total from when you guys first take flight and when you guys first get to the Dwarven Valley. What you find as you're passing through the Dwarven Valley is, do you remember? I mean, for one, there still is the evidence of the White Witch's forces coming in. In the north, you can see that there still is buried it's called the leap, last leap. It's sealed in with snow still. But what you find as you're getting closer to the middle of the valley where the Dwarven settlement is, you're finding on the north side of the valley that there are a couple of human settlements. Small, very small, like little like thrown up mining type things. And when you guys reach the entrance to the Dwarven Valley, and set in the side of the valley itself, there are a bunch of guards who, come running out with long halberds to, face these things. And as you guys land, and they see you on there, the dwarves are quite shocked.
Yeah, Falcor waved at them in his dwarven armor. Hail, brothers!
And they sort of sheepishly, are a little confused as to what's going on. And when you take your helmets off, they'll recognize you as the heroes who helped save their king. Word gets back to Thane. Where is he? Silverbeard.
Silverstream?
Did I say Silver? Yeah, Silverstream, not Silverbeard. Where is he? Where are you, Stokely? Where are you, buddy?
Dane Stokely Silverstream.
Do I have that under Dane? Oh, there it is. Okay, good. All right. So word comes to you, and some of the guard will bring you in. What do you want done with your griffins while you are here?
They don't have anybody that could really take care of them very well. Did not think of that when we came over. I mean, we could probably leave one or two of the other party members to watch them, right? I mean, they're technically here, but...
Well, question is, we need to find somewhere to stable them, I suppose. But everything really in the Dwarven Valley is underground, isn't it? There's no surface level buildings.
Yeah. The stabling them with the rams is probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking?
Well, could be longer term. Could we set up some sort of like temporary stockade at the top? Hang on, let me think.
Well, Falcor will have no issue just keeping an eye on while the other two go and talk.
Okay.
We do have Lex as well. He's the other ranger. He could watch him.
We can have that, yeah. If you guys want someone who is literally watching the griffins to be watching the griffins, I'm fine with that. Okay. So
yeah, because we're not going to stay here for more than a night anyway.
Hopefully, well, depends on how long they can get us the information.
So you guys make your way in, and it is. It seems as if Dane Silverstream is quite keen to kind of clear his schedule to meet with you guys. And I guess it's a shame that Andrew wasn't able to make it to play Cola today. But it also there's a bit of logic there is a logic to him also waiting outside because he was exiled, right?
Yeah, he's persona non grata, isn't he?
Yeah.
The Kinslayer thing's kind of big here, even though we did help him out. So.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's got his cloak fully over his face and trying not to be seen.
Well, I'm assuming he's watching maybe it's Cola who's watching the Griffins. Staying to the letter of what was required, that he doesn't, doesn't go in and fraternize with the rest of the dwarves. So after a brief, you're led through, and he's still, Dane Silverstream is still operating out of the what he called out of the noble's home of Von Bin Rubii that he was before. Von Bin will greet you guys as well too. You may recall Von Bin was an ally who helped you with liberating the Dwarven Valley.
Yep.
So, Von Bin is maybe actually serving as effectively like a seneschal for this. So maybe he's the first one you would actually meet with. And Von Bin comes out and nods to you all. Says, "Welcome back, you. What brings you back to the valley then? And bearing such mounts?"
Well, a lot of things have happened since we left the Dwarven Valley.
Indeed.
And Valkyr will give him a brief description of our journey to the south and then to the east.
As you're telling him, he's stroking that big beard, listening intently. So what you've come here for then? What is it that you think you'll find here?
Well, we were hoping to meet with Adrik, the priest of Dumathoin, and ask him a few questions.
Adrik.
Yeah.
We seek secrets that are long hidden, and perhaps he could help us search them out.
Have you heard word of Adrik since you arrived?
We have been...
No?
No.
You don't know then that Adrik was attacked in his temple 2 weeks ago?
Who would dare do that?
We know not for certain, but we feel that those from the 10 towns, those under their new sway, they may have sent them.
We noticed the encampments to the northern side of the valley.
Indeed. They seem to be looking for something. They've been inquiring of others, allies of ours, still within the 10 towns. We still have friends among those people. What was taken was strange. An old bauble. Something traded as a gift to a dwarf years ago, gifted again to Stokely's ancestors. Something that he felt was from some kind of magical human empire. That's not what brings you here, I take it.
It might be related. We found ruins of ancient Netheril underneath the ice in the east.
What's Netheril?
Human civilization, great magical power that had fallen long ago. And Bill Falcor will point to Thomas's sword, and the sword he carries is made from them.
Is that what brings them from Luskan here, then?
Who knows what drives the heart of Luskan men?
Well, that's what I'm trying to get to. Answering my question with a question is not helpful, Falcor.
Well, we
You,
don't know.
Gorin, you're a studious one. What do you make of this, then? Is this part of the witch's design, or are we beset by two problems?
I had originally assumed that we were dealing with two separate threats, although the timing is certainly suspicious. I suppose, is Adrik... He isn't dead, is he?
No.
No.
Dumathoin keeps those safe. He's recovered now, but it was a near thing. Those that stole from his temple, the Temple of Dumathoin, they underestimated the strength of our kind and the fortitude. Why here, though? Why in the valley?
Well, Thomas is going to say, well, the Temple of Dumathoin is a center of learning and a store center for ancient artifacts. That may be why they're there, because you rob banks because that's where the money is, and you rob temples because that's where artifacts are. I do wonder, were any of the attackers fully human, or were they rat men? We've had some dealings with Luskans who seem to be associated with were-rats in Prinshanda.
We don't know who attacked him, though we know sorcery was involved.
Were there any attackers' bodies left? Or did they...
They struck him down before he could respond.
Ah, right. So there's not much evidence left we could look at this point.
Right now,
other
no.
than talking to him.
We only know what was taken. Something we thought had no value apart from novelty.
Was it just the one thing that was taken, or did they go for...
Only the one.
Hmm.
Then, we thought that was what brought you here, but it appears you have other pressing matters. And he looks over and you see that there's a servant who's been standing there for maybe a minute or so, and he says, I see the king, or the Dane, is free now then, please. He will be eager to greet you again, my friends. And you're brought in, and you can see that one of the rooms that was part of Von Bin's estate has been changed over to being this, effectively like a throne room. It's not quite as impressive with as the vaulting ceilings that you guys first fought. What's his name in? Cola's uncle.
Hammerstone.
Beric, yeah, Beric Hammerstone. But it's still, they've done a decent job of making this look less like just someone's, den. Sorry, a little tickle in my throat. So, you're brought in to Stokely Silverstream's hall. You guys do the bowing and whatnot. His guards are still on watch there as well. And it appears that there are more guards on watch or with him as part of his honor guard than there was previously. But that does not, while they're the number of armored dwarves, which you guys remember can prove to be fearsome opponents. He, however, his warm greeting is quite impressive, and he says, Falcoril, Gorwyn, Thomas, you return to us. Welcome back to the Dwarven Valley. Please, come. And he gets up from his throne and makes his way over towards you guys. Share a drink with me, and tell me why you've returned. And from what I hear, on impressive mounts. The rams were not good enough for you.
They served us well in the Overland, but we made allies with Goliaths in the spine of the world, and...
The Peak Walkers.
Yes, indeed. They were very useful in our fight against the White Witch, which, sadly to say, is not dealt with yet.
So you have much to tell me then. Come.
Indeed.
So he sort of, there's a Star Wars, slide wipe or whatever, and you guys are now sitting around it's a very impressive table that looks like it barely fits in this room. You guys are all kind of clustered around one edge. There's a bunch of steins sitting there. There's a servant who's replacing one, jug of beer with another jug of beer, filling up your mugs. And the king says, so you've made, you brought peace between the two clans of the Peak Walkers, and they are coming here with the elk.
Indeed.
They will be welcome, and we will see that those of the 10 towns make no trouble for the Rega, though, from what I hear, they can most assuredly handle themselves quite capably. And the Peak Walkers, fascinating. We've had one or two of their kind come in the decades. I could not count on my hand the number who've come in my lifetime. And they've come down. Truly a time of changes. What brings you here, though?
So it's a little complicated, but we believe that the White Witch has some command of a place of power out on the sea of floating ice.
This is the tower that your Cola dreamt of, and my wife saw.
And me as well.
You think it's in the sea of trackless ice?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope you have some plan beyond searching that wasteland of ice and ocean.
Well, we're hoping to get an answer from a Jotun. And we thought that Adrik might know something about how to get that answer.
You seek the answers of the giants. Had I not heard of you making friends with the Peak Walkers, I'd think yourselves mad for suggesting such things. They are a kind which we've blessedly not seen here for 100 years. They are violent and cruel. But if it's what you propose, I will leave it to Adrik to speak to whether this is a fool's errand or a stroke of genius. What is it you hope to learn from them?
I think we're just really interested in the location and any information that they might have about a place of power that seems to resemble what we know of the White Witches.
So you think the tower built by them?
Or that they would be the ones that know about it, since they're, very, very ancient.
Well, if we and the giants can be said to have anything we share, it is a respect of those who came before. The names and spirits of those of our ancestors are quite close and dear to us all. And their line does stretch back well before we ever had the dwarf built, the first dwarf grew his first whisker. You've heard then, I take it, and he looks over at Von Ben, of what befell Adrik then.
We heard it was attacked.
They grow more belligerent by the day, making demands of us. We know it was them. They had demanded a search of our archives to retrieve things they said they belonged to them. You could see how far I let that go.
I'm surprised you haven't driven them from your land yet.
We have taken your counsel, and we take to go to war with the 10 towns, with the threat of the White Witch still over us, would not be a prudent matter.
Indeed.
If you defeat the White Witch, and they remain as belligerent as they have been, then war there may very well be. Though, what do you make of this bauble said to have had? Why could they want that? Would they have come all this way just for such a thing?
Seems, unless there are remarkable hidden depths to said object that we are unaware of, seems unlikely that Luskin involvement in the Dale is simply to retrieve that. Although
so what your party would know, just to give you some refreshers too, what your party knows is from what Grim had told you, when you guys made your way through that upside down tower, what you found, you didn't make use of it, but there was a device that Grim said would have transported you all, at least when it was functioning properly, to the city.
And it probably needed a device to unlock it.
You also found in the Caves of Hunger that fallen golem head and that strange guide, that magical guide to the city.
Well, I was just going to say that we have a real awareness of the power and the remarkable craftsmanship that went into these Netherese objects. So even without any obvious usage, I'm sure there's something important to the bauble.
Well, even while you does Gorwyn have one of the Netherese swords, or is it?
I think so. I've got a spell blade that negates fireballs.
Oh yeah, then for sure.
And Thomas has the other one, I think.
Yeah, so you could even have while you were talking about that, you could have leaned on your sword, because it's quite obviously of Netherese craftsman or a Netherese origin. So he's he looks over at Vonbin and he says, "We should inquire of Adrik if this is a coincidence, or if the re-emergence of this city plays some role in the threat of the White Witch. You have my blessing for Adrik to give whatever assistance that he may be able to give you."
Okay.
Thank you.
We thank you. Until my beard is as white as snow, I will still be indebted to you all. Whatever we can do to help, we will. So, it'll take probably about maybe like 45 minutes or an hour for them to locate Adrik and then bring him down. Or do you want to go see him in the Temple of Dimethorn on the other side of the valley?
I think we go and see him on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you guys could easily get there with griffins. Okay. So then with that, you guys mount up. You head over. And you will be meeting with Adrik. Now, guys, why don't we're a couple minutes early here, but why don't we take our mid-session break now, and then you guys can meet with Adrik when we get back. We'll check him a chat. It gives me a chance to refresh my coffee as well. And then we'll see what Adrik has to tell you. So, back momentarily, folks. All right. Let's check my chat here. Good morning, everybody. Brian, good morning. Hope that... snow down there. Okay, I hope you're doing well in the snow. Fred was shaking. Good morning. Thank you for the good luck. For everybody. Wayne, morning. Lovely -7 degrees Fahrenheit. No, I imagine that was not... what's -7 in Celsius? Don't even know.
Well, 32 is 0, so...
That doesn't help. Because it's not a straight scale.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay.
Maybe like maybe -12?
-7. -21. So yeah, that's fucking cold. Yeah, that's not pleasant at all. Do not like, no. Oh, thanks, Fred. So you do... Fred says, really enjoy these roleplay sessions. You all do such a good job with your characters and such a rich adventure full of mystery and wonder. Thanks so much, Fred. That's very, very kind of you to say. Jackabear, morning. Ooh, Jackabear. That's a great big RuneQuest fan there. That's awesome. Yeah, I have to make our way over to see Adrik then and see what he has to say. Oh, my goodness. So we're into 60. This is 61. Session 61 of this campaign.
Wow.
Yeah.
It feels like yesterday we were arriving in the first town in the Yeti attacks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... I feel like the pace of this one is a little more frantic than what the pace of Night Below has been.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's a little more of a ticking clock element here. It's been interesting, though, seeing the rate of advancement I did when I was trying to figure out how to get the pace for our 5th edition pickup game, the Warcraft one. I wanted to get something similar to the two different games, and on average for this campaign, it's about every 7 sessions. Now that's on average, so and it'll slow down as you guys are higher levels. But that's if you break it down by like the average party level versus number of things played, that's it's probably actually a little higher by this point too, because you guys were at 62 now. But for Night Below, it's an average about 13 or 14 sessions per level. It's because of the training element. And I think the lesson to be learned there is that, I don't think for 40 more sessions, and when we get caught up for this campaign to where Night Below is, I think you guys may be 2 levels difference by that point. So if the lesson is that it's not going to make a huge difference. It does for the casters, because like 2 levels for a caster is a level of spell, and that can make a big difference. But
yeah, I'm over here just waiting for that 7th level of cleric to pop in.
yeah, what's that spell you're waiting for?
Cure serious wounds.
Yeah.
Mortal wounds.
Yeah. No, getting rid of some of those mortal wounds definitely will make a difference.
We'll be glad not to have a limp or being slowed down.
Is he the one who's preventing you guys from force marching right now?
I believe that and Tom.
Oh yeah, Tom's got a bum leg too, right? I could be quickly checking something while we're waiting here. All right.
Don't get me wrong, I prefer to be alive, so bum leg or not.
Yeah. Well, most definitely. Most definitely. Oh, and for those listening at home too, I am this afternoon doing a reminder. Because we hit 4,000 subscribers, as a thank you to everybody, I'm going to be doing a live stream Roll20 tutorial, kind of a Bob Ross style. Watch me talk my way through it as I'm doing it, for setting up a new campaign, for setting up character sheets and everything else that goes into setting up a Roll20 game. And that'll be starting at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. Okay. So I think we can probably get back in. Mo can jump back in when he gets back, because it's been a little while. Okay, so guys, you may remember that this side, the northern side of the valley, is not as far removed from its mining history as what the other side is. There are efforts to transform this side of the valley into more of an actual community, have more dwellings and whatnot in it, but this side of the valley is still very much, a mine. So located within there, though, is the Temple of Dumathoin. And let's see here. I'm sure I've still got the map somewhere. Oh, I archived it, I'll bet you. Yeah, I've archived it, so it does not... see, Arlen, I clean up the map sometimes. This had 21 archived maps, so...
And they're all named Start, Copy, Copy, Copy?
Yes, they are. Yep, absolutely. Oh, man. It's also, like when I draw in Photoshop, even for more complicated things, I'll have like 70 layers or 80 layers on the go, and they're all layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. I never think to fucking rename them, and then I'm continually trying to find which one it was that I did something on. So, yeah, I am a terrible bookkeeper as far as digital content is concerned. So what... I think where you come across, you may remember that there was that temple complex where there were 3 different places you could go in, and one of them led down into, or 3 different gods that it venerated, and one of them was for Dumathoin. And as you guys arrive in this place, I mean, it seems like a crypt. When you first arrive, it seems like the priests, if they are... if they have returned here, it's a skeleton crew for all of the different temples. But when you, I guess, you tell me, how do you think you would approach it? Would you start going to look around trying to find Adrik? Would you just call out? What do you think?
Definitely want to make myself known.
So the doors are just open, are they?
Well, you're in the temple, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no obvious junior priest
Yep.
at the door that come up to meet us?
Yep.
In that case, I think I'll just call out Adrik.
Okay. That echoes for a bit, and then seemingly out of the shadows, Adrik, once again, steps and says just simply, "I've heard you returned. Welcome back."
Take off his helmet and give Adrik a big smile. Not going to forget the guy who rescued him from prison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he says, "What brings... I hear that you've come back to speak to me, but not about what I thought."
No? What did you think we'd come for?
Those thieves.
Oh, we're very interested in those as well. But sadly, we have greater pressing concerns.
Well, we're not entirely sure that the two are unrelated anymore. Gorwin in particular has been kind of thinking through the timeline and trying to figure out exactly kind of where we were when the raid happened.
So where you guys would have been is in the Spine of the World Mountains, dealing with the two Goliath tribes, the conflict between the two of them.
And if we did anything that might have, or if he's kind of going back through the timeline and trying to figure out if is there like some particular a way that they would have gotten, that the Luskins would have gotten word or information or something like that, or something that they would have noticed that happened based on our kind of struggle to fight the White Witch. But doesn't have anything concrete yet, but he's just kind of trying to go through the...
No, so what this would be after you all took refuge in when you were traveling to seek out the Goliaths and Kaniaka, the druid, at Ostin's suggestion. You guys took refuge from a blizzard in a cleft in the side of a cliff, and within there you found a tunnel that led down into the upside-down tower, and within there you came across an old companion who was searching it. And I don't know if you, the players, know that Grimm found his way there with something he had stolen from his master. I don't know whether he's revealed that to the other characters, because Grimm is sort of all over the place with what he reveals and what he does not. So I don't know. He's an unpredictable wild card.
We know he was cursed because he stole something, but I think that's all.
And I mean, you guys can infer the fact that you happen to take refuge in a place and you happen to come across a guy who is in the midst of, who happens to speak the language and read Netherese, who has been eagerly looking for all the secrets of Netheril that he could. Seemingly, because in the Caves of Hunger, he sort of threw caution to the wind trying to find more information about Netheril. But in any event, that happened before the theft. Your exploration of the inverted tower all happened before this, before Adrik was attacked, and so that happened before that. He was attacked, and that happened before you guys assaulted the Caves of Hunger to search for Tekeli Lee. So. Those two, whether those two bookend in some way what's happened, or whether they're just unrelated, it doesn't appear. That's the sort of appearance of Netherese stuff in your adventure thus far. Okay. Oh, you did find something at the Cackling Chasm as well too. Those snow gnolls, or the trolls, snow trolls, ice trolls. They had a place where there was a temple, or an altar rather, not temple, an altar to Mistril, the mistress form, the goddess who died when Netheril fell. So, with that timeline in mind, does Gorwin have anything to add to his observation?
Not really, although I think we'll talk about it with Adrik and kind of tell him what's gone on with us and see if he has any particular insight, but nothing jumps out right
So
now.
he leads you through a secret tunnel. I mean, as he's there are ways to get into the Temple of Dumathoin that don't involve going through the secret tunnels that are hidden in the walls and stuff like that, but Adrik seems to really enjoy that. So he leads you guys once again through secret tunnels out into what appears to be a study, and there are a ton of scrolls and books and whatnot in here, tablets, and he makes tea for you all, a very thick root tea, and with the aroma of that steeping, he sits down and asks how he can assist you. You guys could have made small talk along the way if there's anything else you want to bring up.
So you're thinking that, I was saying to Gorwen, do you think so when we investigated that first Netherese area, you think you may have triggered something that caused the attack on Adrik?
I don't know. It's kind of... I'm not sure. At the time, I didn't notice anything, certainly, but the particular timing and the reappearance of Netherese magics seems at best an eerie coincidence. But I don't know. Adrik, do you know anything more about the thing that was taken? We've heard that it's a bauble, but nothing particular about it.
The records we have say that it was traded, brought to us from the hands of one tribesman to another, and then traded as a gift to us, and then offered as a gift to the Dane centuries ago. Such baubles are said to be found in this region, Strange things. How they get there. It's a secret. We would be keen to learn. But such things are found out there. The wastes hold many secrets. Much history. But no. It is the only of its kind in the Danes' collection.
I was just about to ask if there was anything similar that they passed over.
Nor was there anything else they took. The sole object taken was that. Though what good it would do them, I cannot say.
Did you notice if any of the attackers were not quite human? We've had dealings with some of the Luskan
I did not.
groups, and
I did not see them.
some of them looked a bit. Ah, I see. They hit you over the head from behind. Right.
Your swords, Gorwin.
Yeah, I'll unbelt the sword and hand it over to Adrik if he wants to take a look.
Yeah, and he takes a look at it. He says, the markings. This is from that same horde. Or at least the same people. Where did you find this?
And an upside down tower.
An inverted tower.
Yes, might have broken off and got frozen under the ice. But when we explored it, we had to climb up it.
Forgive that the tower broke off.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much you know about the Netherese, but they apparently, one of our party members knows more than a bit about them, and they were a powerful, magical human civilization that existed in this area for a long time.
Oh, indeed, I know of them, but they're to the south, no? They've never come up this far. Although...
Well, we were a little south of here. We were in the Spine of the World Mountains at the time.
On the very tip top.
That's still... They had flying cities, no?
Yeah, that's what we were told.
You think then, is it possible? A whole city fallen out there in the ice and snow?
No, I'm certain of it.
The riches that such a thing would hold.
All the dangers. Let's tell you what we fought over there.
No, the way he says riches doesn't make you think that he would be greedy for it. It seems he's more concerned by it. Such a thing would be a great prize to any sorcerer or wizard, and those among the arcane brotherhood of Luskan. They have long sought to cast themselves among the red wizards of Thay as the most feared sorcerers in the realms. Though they are charlatans and street magicians in comparison to the power of those red-robed wizards. But with the untapped secrets of a whole city of Netheril, that may tip the balance not only on the Sword Coast, but in all the realms. Do you know where it is? The city?
I could lead us back to where the opening to the tower is.
Is it hidden?
It was fairly well. We only noticed it because we were driven into a cave, more open area with ice above it, and to the back we found a way down, big enough for a man to get through.
I see no coincidence in that. If the secrets lie out there, in the ice and snow, best they lay buried. Though we're fools for not seeking out advice and help to identify what we had we known. And we don't know what it is they stole. A key? A guide stone?
Well, there was a device at the top/bottom of the tower that we believe would transport you down to the city below. But we had no way of knowing how to activate it.
That is...
I'm pretty sure Grimm took some sketchings of the runes in that room.
Oh, yeah.
Does Adrik remember the runes on this bauble? Maybe they would resemble?
The language was not known to me, and I paid it no mind. A bauble, a trinket, from some lost. We first thought it something they traded for, something that found its way into the hands of someone in the 10 towns, then out to the tribesmen through their hands and back. We did not think that it would be something from here. Well, the Dane must know of this. If nothing more comes of it, we at least know now why those of the 10 towns are here and so intent on laying claim. Luskan is greedy, but to go to such lengths to seize the 10 towns, the riches of the knucklehead trout, cannot be the only reason they came here. But those are my troubles. You said you came for a reason other than my loss. What did you come here for?
We'll share the story of the travel to Evermelt and the battle within, and let him know that we believe the White Witch hides in a place of power in the sea of floating ice, trackless ice, and that we were hoping to find information on how to locate it from the Jotuns.
The Jotun, or the giants, claim to be those in veneration of their ancestors as we do. They are liars, fools. Lip service they pay at best. Savages and raiders, the lot. But there was a time. Their kind is old as the mountains. And when they seek out, it's said that they go before the Jarls of old, a place known as the Jarl Moot. But as is with their kind, strength and power, that is their coin of trade. And those who would call upon the Jarls, so it said, must offer a demonstration of both. I know not where the Jarl Moot is, but I will seek our legends, and I will seek and find this information for you. But be warned, the Jarl Moot will be in a remote place, far from all. Though it may not seem it, the Dale hides great secrets from before any man, elf, or dwarf laid eyes upon this vale. It's said, too, that those Jarls past may only speak when blessed by the full moon. So, the full moon is a week off. Though I value your company and your counsel on what was taken, perhaps my time would be best spent finding answers for you. Have you anything further?
I don't know exactly what you intend to do, but I have a little bit of skill at researching in libraries and things like that, if that would help.
He gets, you see he can't really see his face, right, because his beard is all still as mussy, even though he's really assumed, back his place as the head priest of Dumathoin. He still looks like, a homeless person or homeless dwarf. The big, beard kind of like twitches. He's replaced his, shirtless ensemble with an actual robe of Dumathoin, but otherwise his hair's still wild and whatnot. He seems more interested in his research and whatnot than he does in his physical appearance. But you do see that big wild beard kind of twitch a little bit, and he says, "Oh, aye, Gorwyn. I would appreciate your help." Then, Thomas Falcarel, you will be made at home here, but we have work to do.
Indeed, we've got those griffins that we were gifted by the tribes of the Goliaths, and I, for one, intend to become very familiar with them. I didn't know it until I saw them, but griffins are an amazing creature. So, Falco basically going to try and spend whatever time is necessary becoming more familiar with the griffins, so that
Sure. Yeah.
I think I'll join you in that. But I also want to go and see if I can do shopping for a lance to use from Griffinback.
If you don't have a proficiency in aerial combat,
right.
Yeah, like I just don't know if that's a. They can definitely. Yeah, I mean they can provide you with that, but it's just that, on the first, impact with a lens, you may find yourself tossed off the griffin just because you're not familiar with aerial proficiency or aerial mounted combat yet.
Well, yeah, I'll see if I can get some. Get one.
Yeah, I mean you most definitely can.
But then again, I was going to go with Falcarel, and maybe we'll do some training, and possibly I'll try and even do some mock attacks. Pig sticking.
Sure.
You're effectively trying to hit something on the
Griffin
target on the ground.
What's that?
That's the training dummy that knights would use for lance attacks. That it's got a shield on one side and like a heavy thing on the other.
Right.
Yeah, it hits you in the
Hit
back.
it,
Yeah.
it smacks into you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Since me and Tom and I think Store are the three that have breach weapons, we should likely three of us try to familiarize ourselves if we need a fight from the air.
You're not. Your lance is going to be tricky, but at least it's something you can couch under your shoulder. There's no way you can use a halberd with no training in mounted aerial combat.
I think he was thinking about bow.
I might be able to use a bow, but it's more like starting the process now, so that it doesn't.
I think if we get into a fight, we'll land and get off of the griffins. Unless you want to take half your distance and fall damage, that seems like probably
Yeah.
Actually, we probably need some featherfall tokens in.
That would be the city of Sharn is just about 6 kilometers south.
3 planes.
Yeah,
3
exactly.
planes.
We had to power level Grim up a bit more so we can make us some rings.
All right.
I'm going to answer Adrik. So, where do you think they took the stolen item? Is it in these human camps that are around?
He doesn't know.
Mm.
Yeah. He's assuming it's them that took it because they were asking for it before, but he's not even there's not even 100% proof that they took it, right?
So he didn't reckon. Well, he didn't when he was attacked, presumably from behind. He didn't realize it was someone taller than him. Then.
No, it's also.
So
he didn't say he was physically attacked.
Oh, right.
They said it was sorcery.
Which is impressive to get a dwarf.
Yeah, so they cast some spells and then he woke up and it was gone, sort of thing.
Yep.
If he wanted
and
to.
He was nearly dead. He almost died from the attack. They tried to kill him.
Well, I think we maybe need to get our resident mage to maybe have a think about that when he's next here, because he might be able to tell us what sort of spell he thinks they used. I mean,
I think the information that it does give us, dwarves don't become wizards, right? So that tells us at least, hopefully, it wasn't like a fifth column sort of thing, right? That
It was
at least was somebody, Luskin who snuck in as opposed to a spire. They might have had some level of inside information, but they certainly didn't use a dwarf to do it.
well, there are some divine magics that can do that too. I can't just rule out.
Although he would probably know most of the divine casters since he's a priest of secrets and all that.
Yeah, I'll ask Adrik if there's any still any lingering tensions from the.
Well, there is an old dwarven saying with respect to investigations, and that is cui bono. Who profits? Who would profit in the dwarven community from the Netherese artifact being taken, or the bauble at least being taken?
Couldn't think of anyone.
well, we know that at least one faction of the dwarves did have human associates.
Yeah,
Barrack Hammerstone. Yep.
Yeah, the Luskan. I think we're just calling her the Luskan bitch rather than her actual name.
Yeah.
Who fell down that very long.
Baka.
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, after I shot her.
There may actually be more like her, or some of her colleagues might be involved. But the question is do we want to then go into the human camps and try and find this object? Possibly. Possibly some of the humans.
It's been a
like
little
us.
while though. It seems like they would have moved it. Although,
Yeah, you're right. They're not going to really have it, 2 miles away from where they stole it 2 weeks later.
Although we might be able to figure out if there's a way to. I can't see a way to interrogate somebody without it turning to violence. But if there was a way to interrogate one of these guys without setting the Dwarven Valley on fire, then that might be useful. But
well, the other way would be to set some sort of trap, maybe set rumors that there's another bauble, and then say that we're now looking after it for the Dane, and get them to come after us. I mean, that's dangerous in itself, but
yeah. Well, and we don't know. We're kind of on a time crunch.
Yeah.
So they don't. If we tell them that, hey, we've brought this bauble back for Adrik and it's special, and then we have to leave, that just puts Adrik in danger again.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't really have a lot of time. And it is also distracting us from the main thing we decided we want to do. I think maybe if we go and train and let the researchers do their research and then see what happens tomorrow morning, effectively. Just make a note that I've gone on board this as well.
Yeah.
All right. So then, is there anything else you guys wish to ask of Adrik before we go into a montage?
Well, I was going to suggest that we all have a group meal together this evening after they've done some research, because I'm sure he'd like to catch up with the others. And possibly we ought to invite Ruby Von
Ben Ruby
names, as well.
I mean, they can't really. For one, it would take them. Remember how travel works in the Dwarven Valley? Like, it would take them days to get from one side to the other.
Well, I meant our people would fly over. Oh, sorry, I see what you mean. Yes.
Yeah. So.
Sorry, I was forgetting. We're split side by side. Yeah. Okay. Well, could we give him a lift over in the evening on one of the Griffins? Or are we not that good to take a pillion?
I mean, he's got work that he needs to do, right? Like he'll have dinner with you all for sure. That would be of interest, but he's interested in researching and whatnot. And I mean, the others as well too have the king will be happy, or the Dane, I should say, will be happy to meet with you guys. But they also have Von Ben is effectively the seneschal for the king at this point, so he's busy as well. He took time today to meet with you guys and socialize, but the Dane would be happy to host you guys if you want to have dinner with him. But it sounds like Gorwin, and we'll wait for Arlen to get back on. It sounds like what Gorwin would be more interested in doing is maximizing the time spent researching, trying to find that answer before the week passes.
Yeah, I really, as far as things to do, I think my time is best spent helping Adrik with research, because that's sort of my skill set. I'm happy to, if there's something else pressing that we need to do, like if we think that something about this bauble is really important, that we go back to the 10 towns and ask around about it. But it doesn't seem like that's the case right now.
It also does seem, I mean, unfortunately, because it was not a great deal of thought was put into the thing, there's not a lot of notes on this thing that was stolen too.
Yeah,
they just didn't think it was. It was nice and it was a cool historical curiosity, but they didn't think it was anything of terrible importance. So there's barely anything in the notes in the Temple of Dumathoin to speak to what this thing is or what the specifics are, and it's in a language that's been dead for 4,000 or 6,000 years. So unless you're a researcher, and for the dwarves, they've never thought that there was any, like the Netherese were almost exclusively farther to the south. In the southern regions, one of them drifts or was drifting and went missing to the east of what is now the Anarok Desert, which is thousands of miles away to the east from here. So it would be like trying to find an expert in Egyptology in Anchorage, Alaska. It's just like, why on earth would you be, if you studied that and that's your specialty, why on earth would you find yourself there?
Yeah. if it was an ancient elven artifact, I might be able to help because I've got ancient elven history and ancient languages with elven dialects.
That's an interesting point. One of the books that you may remember, one of the books that Grimm was studying is with respect to the Mythalar, the ancient elven, basically phenomenally powerful magical artifacts that allowed the lost civilizations of elves to cross, like Mithranor would still have them as well, cross vast distances reliably and regularly using magic to power spells that were far beyond anything any mortal being and perhaps even some gods could maintain without dramatically exhausting them. There was books on the Mythalar that Grimm found in that place and references to it being in the city. So if there was, and the Mythalar are certainly, they're not as old as what the giants are, but it's much closer to that than the time of the Netherese. Netheril came far after the fall of the Elven Kingdoms, the great Elven Kingdoms at least. So if that's of interest to Gorwyn, then that's something that would definitely peek out. If there's a Mythalar found in that, then I'll leave it to you to decide how Gorwyn would feel about, greedy human mages who were so avaricious that they actually ended up accidentally killing a goddess of magic to try and get more power. Having one of their cities take one of these ancient, powerful elven artifacts and using it for their own devices.
The fucking round ears. Why are they like that?
It just goes from better, good news to better news, right?
Yep. No, that's interesting. Gorwyn's gonna have to think about that.
Okay. So, it will take a few days worth of research. Let me think here. How many? Oh, shit. So I randomly rolled to see how many days. You spend the next day. We can see Falcarol and Tom are training and trying to get the mastery of lances. So, Tom, would you give me a dex check at -8, please, if you're using lance? Falcarol, are you making use of a lance as well?
I figured I'd go par and par with Thomas.
Dex check at -8, please.
Okay, well, it's a slightly less than 50% chance. 9, there we go. Oh, yeah, look at that.
So you're able to connect. It nearly knocks you out of your saddle, but you did connect. Same thing with Tom. So both of you have managed to stay in your saddle, but you realize that, the force of impact, because of the way the saddle is designed, this is not a charging saddle that the Goliaths, they would never...
Up back.
Yeah, they would never do it. So saddle's wrong. Your inexperience with this is wrong. The weight, the Griffin's not used to throwing its weight behind this as well, too, so it's clumsy, but you don't fall.
Okay. At that point, I'd look to Thomas you think we can get one of the dwarves to add a strap or two just to keep us in our seat?
I was thinking whether it would really work with the Griffin as a mount, because normally a horse or a ram would have effectively a built-up back, and you'd have stirrups. I mean, because you do even have stirrups in the Griffin thing.
I think probably.
Yeah.
The one thing that the dwarves do know is the rams are, one of their things, one of the ways having a ram mount as opposed to a horse mount, you're not riding past things and trying to injure it. You're riding into things and trying to injure it. So they're used to making saddles that take an impact quite well. So they actually might be able to help you with that.
Okay.
And also thinking about it, I don't know whether the Goliaths, do they have scabbards for bows?
They use javelins, so braces of javelins.
Oh, right. So there is somewhere where we can just stick the bow. Even though I'm not very good at bow fighting, but I know some of the others are.
I don't think it would be the same thing. You may have to modify that, but I think it like if you, with the
have to
time
be sort of bigger to.
Yeah,
sure. But
Well, someone's got leather working, haven't they?
I do as well. Yes, but dwarves are specialties in impact-related stuff, so I'm going to lean towards their expertise.
Yep.
okay. The thing is that the rams, just so you're aware, rams are more sturdy than what these are. That's what they do is ram their heads together. These things are aerial creatures, not designed for that. So
I'm just more worried about keeping our seat because I don't plan to slam into something. But
if what you're doing is you're holding the lance and you're going to keep yourself back to have that force transferred. What I'm saying is that the saddle that they will be able to put together is something that is going to transfer energy to a ram as opposed to a griffin.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think using the lance on the ram would be like a couched heavy lance, whereas I was thinking this is more like a later lancer, where effectively you were just using a light lance and stabbing down at distance.
Mm.
So it's more like, say, an 19th century lancer,
If I
as
go look
opposed
at
to a
Tom,
medieval knight, if you want to use a historical.
if Falcor will look at Tom and says, I'd rather get something like a long spear or something or a spear that I could throw from the griffin, or javelins might even be perfect. And then rely on my bow for long range stuff.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. So effectively, I was thinking maybe they should be more like a light, effectively Napoleonic lancer type spear rather than a classic medieval big heavy lance.
So then what they're going to be offering is not going to be a difference until you guys get your riding proficiency with aerial stuff. Then lancing of any kind is going to be tricky.
Okay.
But
we'll table the idea until we're better skilled at it. Maybe focus more on getting our writing down and learning to shoot from the back instead.
Okay.
Yeah.
First day passes, and you are unable to. You're finding some references to this stuff, Gorwyn, but nothing concrete. Second day, you guys are back at it as well too, and the second day is when you luck out. What you find is a reference from. It's apparently a dwarven caravan that was making its way back from the south. And what they say, they got, as is unfortunately common in here, they got themselves lost in a snowstorm, traveling from the southern lands, coming over that road leading from, what's it called? I can't remember what it is. Mulemaster, I think, is the last stop off before you get here. What they found is far off to when the weather cleared and they realized where they were. What they found is themselves far to the west of the 10 towns. Way over, if you zoom out on the map, it's way over here.
2 days.
And what they described was on a peak at the highest point overlooking the region, there is a flat top to it. And on that kind of plateau, there is a structure built with 7 thrones placed on them, sized for something far larger than man or dwarf or elf, all facing one another, as if a meeting of kings. That place is right about here.
Interesting.
So if that is where Jarlmut is, then it is under a full moon when you can. This is what Adrik finds. He finds the thing he was looking for. The giant Jarls, the past kings of the Jotun, they only appear on a full moon. And on a full moon, they will offer advice and information to those who seek it and those who prove themselves worthy of that. Now, what that means for proving oneself worthy is there is no further information that he has, at least yet. But I think you guys can likely speculate what a frost giant's spirit might want to see a fellow frost giant prove as their worth. But those who do prove themselves worthy, they have access to the wisdom and guidance of those Jarls of old. And it's said that the greatest kings, or thanes, I suppose, among the frost giants, they are those who have sought out the wisdom of the spirits of the Jotun at Jarlmut. So, how does that affect your plans?
Oh, we've got a destination in mind, and you said it was 12 days from, so 10 days from now, the full moon's there?
2 days have passed. It was 7 days before, so there's 5 days. 5 days until the full moon. By Griffin, you could reach Jarlmut in 1 day.
I wouldn't risk that.
Yeah, I think we
I say we sit
go
out
the day before and stage nearby.
I'd say
then-
we leave no later than 2 days from now, just in case. Falkroll is extremely paranoid about the weather and the witch's wrath. So I imagine if we get grounded, it's going to take us more than 3 days to get there.
Yeah, I mean, we ought to maybe have a camp, well, go within maybe a couple of hours flying and set up like a forward base there.
Yeah. That's what I think.
Obviously, we don't want to stand a long time out there because we're going to get
Yeah, this side of the
wandering
river.
things are going to bump into it. But yeah, sort of like maybe back sort of, assume we're looking at a map here. We've got a montage of us looking at a map, sort of around here.
Well, I'd think a little bit closer, so in case we
Yeah.
get grounded, we don't have to deal with these rivers and crossing them. And then
No, yeah.
we're
We're
just
flying now. We don't have to worry about finding a crossing place.
yeah.
But I think it's a good idea. Set up a base camp a couple miles away, maybe, or even closer, depending. I guess one of the things we don't know is if there are any Jotun that are also expecting to go to the Jarlmut. So that would be a concern. They may not be super friendly to us. And I say may, it seems we don't seem to make friends very easily anytime.
You guys have two tribes of, what do you call it? Of
Yeah, but it took a
Goliath.
lot of work to get them on our side.
Most definitely.
So, but yes, I think the idea of setting up a base camp like over here, a couple miles away, and then worst case scenario, if it's if the weather turns worse, we could hopefully still make it to the Jarlmut on the day of, and camp out there and be there the night of the full moon. And then see about proving ourselves to the ancient Jarls. You mentioned, it sounds like Adrik had kind of a sense about that this sort of information might be in the library. Does he have a sense that there's any like other sources that we might be able to find that would help us with information, or is this kind of like the best he's got?
He can keep looking, but this seems to be the best that he has access to at this point.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
It's tricky because it's not a lot of the books and learning when Mithril Hall was reclaimed. A lot of that got taken to there. Mm-hmm. You know, some stuff remained. In particular, when when the Silver Streams came back to the Dwarven Valley after the Mithril Hall was reestablished. They brought some stuff, and there was some stuff that was left behind, but it was mostly stuff relating to the time here in the Icewind Dale. So what's available here is likely that, and then just the knowledge of the Jotun. Maybe there's Goliath tribes that might know more, but I mean, like the fact that they know about this place of power, in the what do you call it, Sea of Fallen or the Sea of Trackless Ice. That's remarkable in and of itself.
Yeah. So I don't know for certain, obviously, but my guess would be that the spirits of the ancient Jarls are going to speak Jotun.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
How's your Jotun, boys?
Mine's rusty. I've been trying to learn it from the giants.
The Goliaths?
But yeah, the Goliaths. They're giants to me. But yes, I'm rusty on it.
Seems like a long shot, but any chance Adrik has a dictionary, maybe?
It does not.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does speak Jotun. It's not uncommon among the dwarves for them to pick it up. Let me check Kola's languages. I wonder if he speaks Giant or Jotun.
Yeah, I think we've all got the basics of Jotun, to communicate socially, but I don't think we're fluent. I think someone's fluent in it.
Let's see. Common and Dwarvish are the only languages Kola speaks.
Does Grimm maybe speak? Since Grimm seems to know about some of this ancient stuff around here.
Grimm speaks, let's see. Chondathan, Common, and Netherese.
Does anybody have comprehend languages?
I don't know if Grimm's got that.
I don't remember the specific proficiency stuff of what works with what. I have ancient languages, but I think my specialty is ancient Elvish. So
I'd still let you, with ancient languages, I'd still let you make a roll to try and communicate. I mean, honestly, if with the dialect of Jotun that they would be speaking, presumably that if they date back as old as you think, they're going to be speaking in very archaic Jotun, which says a lot for a race that's 40,000 years of history in their kingdom.
Okay. Well,
I wonder if what Adrik could do. He may be able to find for you something that would allow you to speak to them. Let's see.
Yeah, that would be useful.
I wonder if he's got. It's a wizard spell. Shit, it's not a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some deities that grant it as a divine spell, but
I wonder if Dumathoin does. Let's see here. Let's see. I know Dumathoin does offer some unusual things.
yeah.
Let's see what his specialty priests get. ESP, detect lie, no alignment. Detect minerals, fist of stone, meld into stone, identify. They do not get comprehend languages.
You said these are spirits that show up?
Yes.
No, I can't use that. Never mind. There's a divine spell called Commune with Spirit, but that's a Oriental spell.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I drank far too much coffee today. I need to run to the washroom very quickly. I'll be right back. Please continue your discussions and your plans here.
Yep. dwarves don't do the arcane spells, so getting what we need here isn't. Maybe we could make a pit stop in one of the 10 towns and see a wizard.
Well, we probably do have time. I mean, we've got several days. We could do a...
Yeah. I just want to make sure that we're on the camped out a day before the moot, at worst case scenario. Just, I don't want to wait around another month for these things to come back. Who knows what'll happen?
Also, thinking of stuff, I wonder if we ought to get a compass?
Would dwarves have those?
Yeah, I was just thinking, because obviously we're flying, so we need being able to tell an actual direction.
Pretty sure in the no direction a priest spell.
Sorry about that, guys.
It's okay.
Old man bladder. So what is the plan for preparations? I think what the dwarves will be able to do for you for the saddle, if you want to find something to stop you from falling out, and not something that's going to transfer force through to the griffin and potentially injure the animal, they're going to be able to do that. So what they will do is basically they will give you a +2 to your dex check to avoid falling out of the saddle. Okay.
And we were discussing seeing if we can get a compass or some way of knowing a direction for sure. No direction is on my traveler's list of spells, so I could take that.
Gorwin's also pretty effective at finding the direction.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no direction just shows you the compass, not a direction towards something, right?
Yeah, it did. Lets me know it's in the direction of north. So
So that's great. You can do that, but I mean, Gorwin's no direction or sense direction or direction sense. I can't remember what it's called. Proficiency. I get it wrong every time. It's proven to be quite effective thus far. So.
Okay.
So what are you guys thinking? How are you thinking of communicating with these spirits then?
I was thinking we maybe stopping by one of the 10 towns and seeing if there's a wizard that could get us a comprehend language spell or scroll that could be used.
Do you remember what terms you left the 10 towns under and the things you guys have done with the agents of the High Speaker?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were on the losing side of that political battle, so I'd imagine we're, if not wanted men, we're probably not exactly going to be...
Fortunately, I mean, you guys wouldn't be going into town in any showy way, like, say, on Griffinback. That would draw everybody's attention. So.
Yeah, no, that would not be good.
No, and I mean, the thing is also, you, as far as you know, there's, like, you guys aren't aware of any magicians or whatnot, and it's not, like, again, in AD&D, you can't just go and buy magic items, generally, so...
I mean, we do have that apothecary that we saved. Might be a contact in Bryn Shander, but we'd have to sort of sneak in. I mean, the Bryn Shander was the biggest town, wasn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, the only other one I think is the one down here.
In Eastdale.
Eastdale, yeah.
So, we left Ostin and the Akhenathi is the tribe with the Griffins at Evermelt, and then they're supposed to join us in the Doran Valley eventually. That was part of the plan.
They will be, yeah. They're traveling overland, and that's the both tribes of Goliaths and like the members that you guys have been adventuring with. Them, Ostin, and then the survivors of the Elk. They're making their way across to take refuge in the northern part of the Dwarven Valley.
Is there any chance? What I'm wondering is if they would send like a Griffin Outrider or something, if we could find, because a Goliath, right? They would speak modern Jotun, or modern. I'm doing air quotes, modern Jotun. If there's a way to get one of them, then that might be the best way to communicate.
Do you guys have 650 gold? between you.
I have about 75
Hang
gold
on.
on me.
Right. Let's see what
What's in the
Tom's
party
got.
loot? Did you guys find a bunch of money in?
Didn't we?
We have
Money.
The Perrytons, you got 500 platinum pieces still in party loot.
Hmm.
That's 2,500 gold.
Yeah.
Well, I've got 2 platinum, 200 gold, plus silver for like living expenses. Oh, must remember to take that.
Yeah, in the troll caves, we found 3,000 gold and 6,000 copper pieces.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of loot.
the reason I ask is because if you make a donation in the 650 GP amount, there is a magic item known as a potion of language learning. You consume it, and it allows the imbiber to master an unknown language by concentrating on a race of people or a type of creature.
That's handy.
So yeah, it seems like we could get ourselves. How many does he have?
4.
4. Okay.
It's one that can be used 4 times.
One that can be used 4 times. Okay. Well, we could. So, seems like what we would do is use the platinum or whatever from the party loot to make a donation. Maybe an extra little bit of a tip to be like, hey, thanks for the idea, Adrik, or something. I don't know if he needs that, but you know. Anyway,
He'll take it.
I guess,
Anything. It's the Temple of Dumathoin under the predations of the Hammerstone clan. It's been a rough row.
yeah. So yeah, seems like a donation for the potion is what we want to do. Anybody object?
Nope.
Okay, and then 4 uses.
So who are the 4
guess-
who will consume it?
I'd definitely like to sample.
Don't you have... You've got Jotun already, though, right? Do you have it as one of your languages you selected?
No, it's one I'm learning,
Okay.
so that's why it's really rusty.
Okay. So that's 1 who's laid claim.
Yeah. The reason for Falcrol doing that is because he wants to get really close with the Goliaths, because griffins.
Okay.
So I would save 1 at least for Lex because he seems like our talker often. Gorwin has his ancient languages thing, which is definitely not as good, but might be enough to work as kind of like a. I mean, Gorwin doesn't talk that much in situations like that, so it might be just fine for him to listen and try to follow along.
The last time he took the lead, you guys took on a job taking out pirates.
Well, he also took the lead with the Goliaths at one point.
Oh, that's
and
true. Yeah.
Volunteered us for that job too.
You and your elven. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm happy to not consume and just kind of be hanging out and trying to follow along the best I can. Tom, do you want to be able to talk to the Jotun?
Well, I'm not a huge face character, so I think maybe we leave the others uncounted for, and we see who turns up on the day. Well,
how long does the potion take to take effect?
It almost immediately.
Okay, so it's not. Yeah, so then we can just leave it until and do it, in the evening before.
Okay, so it costs 600 gold. Okay.
650.
650. Yep.
Okay, so
That donation. So we have then Falcarol is taking 1. Lex is going to take another, and then between Tom sounds like he's not interested in it. It would be Gorwin, Store, or Grim probably.
Store's pretty pretty charismatic, right?
Extraordinarily. He's got a like stat-wise, he's got a charisma of 17. And
Okay.
Hobbs does like role-playing him as a chatty character, too.
Yeah.
I think, Grim would probably want it as well because wizard.
Yep.
Okay.
So that would be all 4: Falcaril, Lex, Store, Grim.
Okay.
I've updated the party loot. And I've consolidated all of our wealth at the very bottom.
Okay.
Coinage.
So because you guys are taking the extra day, that's where he finds this object within there, and then you guys consume the thing. It's an ancient dwarven, thing in a vial of some kind, or like a steel flask.
So would I pick up Ancient Jotun or just the normal
just
Jotun?
Jotun. You can put down Jotun. Jotun as the language.
And you can see Adrik can definitely tell, despite the fact that Gorman volunteered not to take the potion, just how much he kind of has the desire for something like this, because the possibility of learning a whole bunch of languages so that he could spend his whole life reading ancient books.
Yeah,
Don't worry, Gorman. I'll work to teach you the language.
Okay. Hold on here. I think that he may have... Let's see.
Command, that's the one on me.
Alright, so are you guys planning on heading out the next day then, while I'm looking something up?
So?
Yeah, I thought we would leaving no later than 2 days from that point. So,
Well, so we had 5 days. So we'd be leaving in 2 days' time then, I think, was the plan.
well, I was hoping to pad it so we estimated it would take us 3 days to get there. So, I think we have one free day left.
I think we could fly all in one day.
We could. It's just Falcor's very paranoid about if the weather turns against us and we run across something else. The data set up.
So we want to get us to our staging camp 2 days before then?
That's best case scenario.
So right now,
We'd have to leave in tomorrow or the day after?
Day is when this is happening. How many days do we want to have in the staging camp?
We want to try and not
to
spend
fly
ages
there.
there because there's we might get discovered, and obviously living out in the cold is harder than staying here in the warm.
Yeah.
Where we can practice on flying and combat flying as well.
I'd say give it another day before we leave.
Give it one more. So if we did one more day before we leave, that means 1 day of travel and then 2 days in camp out about here.
Yeah, and then that gives us a
Assuming that we
spare
make
day
Okay.
to get to the camp in case we get
Yeah.
bad weather flying. Yeah, I think that's safe enough. So
Okay.
Okay.
And kind of builds in a day for recovery if we come across something bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, true. On the way.
Falco's very tries to be careful.
Yeah. All right. So then you're spending when you guys finished up, there were 4 more days until the full moon. So you're spending 1 more day here, then 1 more day travel, and 2 days in camping. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. That gives us if we get really bad weather on the first travel day, we're not.
Anyone have
stuff.
weather sense? I know Lex does, but
It's Lex, isn't it?
Yeah.
okay. So then that first
Well,
day.
actually, wait. Before we decide, maybe we should check and see what the weather is like on the day that we would rest here. In case if it's really good weather, we might want to go ahead and go.
Maybe.
Seems like this is the evening of the day that Adrik found the potion. Maybe tomorrow. Let's tomorrow morning. Let's check the weather, and if it's really good weather, we might want to just go ahead and go. Right, is what I'm saying, and seize the opportunity because we know that these storms can last a long time. Right, so
Okay.
Yeah, the weather's been all those days of blizzard-like conditions. Like it'd be impossible to fly during those.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, it would be impossible for you to stay on the mount as it's bucking and fighting against that wind. Okay, so then let's do this then. So that the evening passes, you guys would, I think Falcor and Tom, you should be at full health at this point.
Yes.
So go
we've
ahead.
had several days of rest, haven't we?
Yeah. So then, with the morning coming, why don't you, so whoever's going to roll weather for us, give us 3 rolls. Let's see how it is. So this is 5 days to the full moon at this point. There is precipitation. There is moderate wind. No, light wind, forgive me. And then the precipitation is heavy snow. So it's not bad. The heavy snow is not going to affect your flying. The fact that there's no wind is just heavy flakes falling down. If you were traveling over land, it'd be tough going, but aloft, it's no problem. So what do you guys do? Do you take the weather as it is today and head out, or do you wait till tomorrow and see what the weather is like tomorrow?
Falcor doesn't have an opinion either way, but he thinks we should leave alone no later than tomorrow.
I think uncomfortable as it would be, I think we take it today, because if the weather turns tomorrow, that eats into our margin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tom's going to agree on that. Yeah.
A griffin in the hand, as it were.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, can we get some? We probably didn't have it, but could we get some sort of goggles?
No, you've
flying?
got. They've supplied you with something like that. It's
Oh,
not
they're
goggles.
giving us like.
Yep. Yeah,
Like flying
Yeah,
gear.
I know.
Yeah, you've got all the flying gear. You guys are not as sturdy as what the Goliaths are with respect to cold, so they have outfitted you with the appropriate things. All right.
Okay.
So then, with that, I'm assuming you guys very quickly throw your supplies together. You can restock with as much iron rations now as you'd like. The dwarves definitely have a specialty for that.
Let's see, party loot and rations. Okay, I'm gonna spend some gold and get some rations for the group.
Okay. Don't spend any gold. Your gold is no good here. They will just supply you with that. At least
Okay.
for the supplies.
Well,
The only reason you had to spend on that potion is because it's property of the church, not property of Adrik or the king.
we'll pick up our iron ration stores to 50, which is another 14 rations, and that should hold us over.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll. Do you want me to put those in the bag, or do you want to keep those?
Oh, I'm pretty sure we need to keep them in the bag because of the flight restrictions.
No open liquids.
Well, no, that and the griffins. We
Man,
don't.
flying griffin is such a pain in the ass nowadays. Okay.
Air griffin.
You can purchase iron rations once you get through security.
Yes.
So then,
I had no problem picking up any javelins, right?
no. So would you have wanted javelins from the Goliaths, or do you think you want ones from the dwarves?
Do they have them in human size?
I mean, something that's usable by a dwarf would be usable by you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if the Goliaths could have provided them human size,
Goliaths are a little oversized because, like, one of their things is they can, they wield somewhat larger weapons.
no, I mean, I'm willing to purchase them from the dwarves. So.
Well, that's what. Hold on, I don't even know what you're asking now. You lost me. What the fuck are you
I'm
asking?
Do the dwarves have javelins I can purchase?
Yes, they do. Yes.
That's what I was
Sorry,
asking.
Lawson. What the fuck are we talking about?
I'm gonna get 6. So.
Okay. Anyone else want to keep their brace full of javelins as well?
Everybody's got all their snowshoes and climbing gear and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
So don't need to get any of that.
Would there be any mechanical penalties
Oh,
from javelins?
You know what they will supply you with as well too? It'll be a random amount they'll have available to you, but why don't you give us a roll of one, let's say 2d3, please. So, buddy.
There goes Tom. Looks like it.
Okay. 4 more healing potions.
Oh, appreciate
Nice.
that a lot.
All right, so that's one each and a spare at the moment.
Okay, I will add one to mine.
Okay.
Yep.
And then,
Let's make another donation to the church, since that's probably where they came from for the healing potions.
Okay, how much of a donation are we given?
I don't know what our healing potions worth.
A lot.
They were like 50 or 100.
it's like 200,
Gold.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. What was the price of Night Below?
Oh, I don't remember. I just remember when we bought them in Eastdale, they
Yep.
were
Yeah, expensive.
okay. What do we? Well, we've got all this cash that
Yeah,
we're not doing anything with it. So
let's maybe 300 gold for the donation, just to help them pay for making them. What do you think?
What do you think, guys?
sure.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we'll give 300 gold.
Okay.
We've got a lot of gold.
All right. Oh.
Anybody need bucklers or upgraded bows?
Anyone? No?
I don't think so. Trying to think if there's anything, because we've got all of our regular gear, and we've already got like armor and weapons from them.
And remember, I can cast light and load to make sure what we do bring with us weighs half as much.
Are we going to bring a tent with us to camp out with?
Probably be a
Have
good
you not
idea.
been bringing a tent?
Well, we can only really carry on the first flight here. We can only carry ourselves
in our
and our gear. Not like that was quite a large tent we had. So even if we broke it down into several parts, I think that would overwhelm the griffins.
Yeah.
So I kind of
Oh, no,
assumed we
I've
were
got my
sleeping
tent
outside.
backpack because I'm traveling with it. But
So I'll pick up a personal tent, and I'll just cast light and load on it so we don't weigh down the griffins too much.
Yeah, I mean, I used to have one, but obviously we left that back at the first Goliath camp.
Yep. So let's pick up a new one.
Just the heavy stuff back there. And I think that's where we left the barrel of beer as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, Alehead and all that is back there. Although I think that those are on their way back to the Dwarven Valley. What the discussion was that the Akhenathi were going to fly back. The ones who weren't accompanying the tribe, they were going to fly back, and then all that gear and whatnot was going to meet up with the guys with some other reinforcements from the Akhenathi. Then that whole caravan was going to make its way back to the northern part of the Dwarven Valley. So you guys have a pretty big Akhenathi contingent coming in to support the Dwarven Valley soon, too.
cool.
Imagine the look on those humans' faces when all those people show up.
Oh, yeah. A combination of, what do you call it, a werebear and a Goliath contingent and the Ragged Tribesmen. Yeah.
Get out of here, Luskins.
Absolutely. Okay. Then, guys, we'll see what happens the first day then. Okay. I just saw in chat that one of our regular viewers, Jason, is going to be running a combo, just what we're doing in our campaign. He's running for his players a combo of Legacy of the Crystal Shard and Icewind Dale.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been fucking great. It's really like at first I was like, well, I'm not sure how much I'm going to draw from it, but it adds a lot. Like it's a really good pairing of the two.
Nice.
So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. That's super cool. Okay. Then. Okay, here we go. And... So, where were you guys planning on setting down?
Right here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this sort of hill on the other side of the river.
So the trip is once again, and are you just going to kind of like as the crow or as the griffin flies like directly over there? That would avoid Bryn Shander then. Bryn Shander's around here.
Yeah.
Point right
Okay. Yeah, if
thinking-
it'll avoid the towns, I don't think we'll
like
get too close.
get to the lake.
Unless you want to do a flyover and drop some propaganda in favour of the ousted leader, just to mess things up a bit.
I think there are towns on the southern side of the northern lake there. Just give me a sec here.
Yeah, I think we just go straight there. I think getting distracted with politics and the 10 towns is a bit...
Well, no, I think Putter, what we're thinking about is whether we want to avoid being seen by the town.
Yeah,
yes, see what you mean. Take a roundabout route.
Targos
yes.
is right here,
Gotcha.
and Tourmaline is right there.
So we have
right there, closer to the woods.
So if we go, I don't know if going over the lake might be a good idea because the thermals might not be really good, if any. But
Bremen is right here. So Bremen's here, Targos is here, Tourmaline is there. Although at this time of year, it is going to be like there's not regular traffic between them. The roads are all snowed over, and it's been a particularly brutal winter as well too. So
and there's heavy snow coming down, right? So
the likelihood of being spotted, regardless of which town you fly over, is very remote.
okay.
And even if they did, what are they
I
going to do
think
about it? They're not seeing you guys on there.
yeah.
Yeah. I think we just do about like John's pointing out,
Yeah.
and British Sanders over here.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll not fly over, but
Might be able to get a good view if they're making a standing army.
Well, I think
from
it
a
cuts
couple
both.
miles away.
It unfortunately cuts both ways. So if they can't see you, it's going to be hard for you to see down through all that snow.
That's true.
It is a really heavy snowfall today too. So you're effectively flying blind through all this stuff, which means that when you guys are landing, I think what you find is there is a massive herd of caribou. Your flight itself is totally uneventful.
Massive herd of caribou.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for some aerial hunting, my friend.
Well, I mean, you can hunt for one or two. If you're just trying to practice, what's your god think of slaughtering things for no reason?
Oh no, I mean fresh meat.
Yep, you definitely get. I mean, your griffins are going to eat very well tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to give us practice, and we get to feed the griffins. So.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
And also leave something out for the crag cats. Is someone going to have like a little harness so we can take the baby Yeti with us as like a...
the Yeti you have not seen since you guys departed Sky Tower Shelter.
Right, no.
Yeah, you don't know where that's gone. Because the Goliath, we talked about this when you guys transported out, but
yes,
like there's no way they would let a Yeti on there. So I guess I don't know what's happened to that poor thing.
Well, I blame Lex. He was supposed to look after it.
Falcro's got a more favored pet now. We don't like you anymore.
I am a falconer. I mean,
yeah. So you guys land. You guys can definitely indulge in some hunting, so you're able to, fell the feed for what do you call it, for your griffins, and you're able to make camp because it's snowing like crazy. It's not a pleasant setup. I think Falcro's spell definitely makes things a lot easier.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to get no direction just for this instance.
Yeah. Okay. So then, otherwise, the evening passes uneventfully. So next morning, it is now 3 days until the full moon. What do you guys? Are you guys just planning on hanging out in camp?
I think we should check out the Jarlmoot itself before the night of. March over. We can leave some people watching the griffins and march over land towards it because we're less conspicuous that way.
Oh, you didn't want to do an aerial reconnaissance?
We could have somebody left at the camp do some aerial reconnaissance.
Could depend on the day, on what the weather's like, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we'll roll.
Let's see what the weather's like and then decide, I think. I was thinking we could do a flyover.
Remember, to remind you for how fast you're moving, with a dwarf in your party, you guys are traveling about, in an 8-hour stretch, you're traveling 2 miles.
Yeah.
So how far are we away?
We're like more than that away.
Plus elevation. changes.
plus elevation changes.
Well, should we just do a quick aerial reconnaissance, just land on there and have a quick walk around and disappear?
Well, the thing with that is, if it's clear enough for us to do that, it's clear enough for anybody nearby to see us.
Yeah.
Well, we could.
So one upside, now whatever might be there, that's a problem. But the trade route to get through the through the Spinal World Mountains and then to get to there, it's like way over here. Oh, wrong thing. It's like way over here.
Yep.
Had it not been for them getting lost, there's no way that the merchants would have ever found this this place. At least in the tract that Adrik was able to find. So let's first check. Let's see what the weather's like today. Okay. Ooh. So actually, no precipitation. It's a moderate wind, and it's completely overcast. So
Sounds like
visibility
today's not the day to investigate.
so visibility would be good both ways for looking down and looking up.
Oh, I thought you said it was overcast.
Oh, it's
Oh,
overcast.
you mean
Overcast,
not
not snowing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, yeah. I guess. Yeah. Take the Griffin.
One of the things
fly
that
over to the Arlmoot.
helps with this too is because it's overcast. It's actually almost ideal conditions to travel in with from the air, because you don't have the glare of the sun coming off of the snow below you, so you're not going to be snow blinded the way you might be if it was a bright sunny day.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, so then what
Yeah.
we'll leave you guys with is flying over in the direction of, let's see if anything interesting happens today too. Okay. What we will leave you guys with is flying over in the direction of Yarlmoot. Let's move you guys over here, and we'll find out what you find there tomorrow. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for session 61 of our quarantine campaign. If you do have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, the game we're playing, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section of the video, and I will endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. In addition, you can find a link in the description of the video to the Dungeon Musings Dungeon Musings Discord server, where all of us are active. We have channels dedicated to this campaign, every other campaign we run on the channel, as well as a bunch of other great topics. Every version, well, most versions of D&D as well too, whether you play 5th edition, 4th edition, 3rd edition, AD&D, whatever, what have you. We also have channels dedicated to finding a group, to setting up virtual tabletops and selecting between them. Lots of great advice over there, lots of great people, and lots of great conversations. You are more than welcome to join us over there. In addition, there is, you can reach me, I should say, on Twitter at Dungeon Musings, and by email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com. I've had a number of people email me this week. I apologize for the delay in the response. I will get back to you this weekend. In addition, there is a link in the description of this video to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel, and it benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity. It is a terrific organization that is active in over 130 countries, providing benefits for over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children. A really terrific organization, and every dollar that is donated goes directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it comes to the channel, none of it goes to any other middleman. It just goes to help out the kids who benefit from SOS Children's Villages International. And as a way of saying thanks for that, for every $25 that is donated between now and April 1st, 2021, you will get one chance to win the grand prize in our first charity raffle of the year, or one of other many awesome prizes. The grand prize is a copy of Beadle and Grimm's Platinum Edition Icewind Dale Rime of the Frost Maiden, and I have a video on the channel that gives a full breakdown of what's in that one, what's in the silver edition. But it's an incredible product that would have been $500 at retail that they have donated for us to raffle off. So once again, we give a huge thanks to the very generous and awesome people over at Beadle and Grimm's. And in fact, if you want to check out Beetle and Grimm's now, for the month of February, they have declared February Feberon month, and they're offering 20% off of their gold edition box set for Eberron. Something we've used to run a couple of adventures on the channel for, and which we will be using again on, I think February 19th is our next Eberron session to highlight some of the awesome stuff that's in there. If you don't win the Platinum Edition, second prize is a Silver Edition, which is almost as great as the Platinum Edition, and if you don't win that, there's still other great stuff, including a chainmail dice bag, including some PDFs from our buddy Jason Hobbs for the Hobbs and Friends zines. We have a dice tray made by Andrew, who plays Cola in this game, and a bunch of cool stuff from the Dungeon Musings Redbubble shop, including some posters, some t-shirts, and some mugs. So lots of great prizes, and in addition to that, all donations between now and April 1st give you a chance to vote in what charity sessions, and we just determined yesterday our next charity session will be on February 27th, where we'll be playing Savage Rifts. So a very special one-shot in support of SOS Children's Villages. In the week leading up as well, too, those who have donated since January will have an opportunity to help outfit our heroes as well, too, with additional gear. So there's ways for you to participate in the channel and to help out our the players in selecting what games we're going to play for our charity sessions and in supporting the heroes when they play. I think, honestly, the magic items that you guys received in our Ravenloft one-shot made a huge difference for you guys in that. So it was a really fun process to go through, and it really helped the heroes out. So not only do you get a chance to win some amazing gaming stuff, not only do you get a chance to participate in some of the charity sessions that we have on the channel, you also get a chance to help out some kids who could really use some help. So all that stuff is available through. And to date, we also, I have to say also, Jeff did once again his stealth donation, and he has helped bump us over 1,600. So in slightly over a month, we've already raised $1,600 for the kids who benefit from SOS Children's Villages International, which is just mind-blowing. I am in awe of the generosity of the players and the viewers and everyone. So thank you to everybody who has helped make it such a success thus far. And speaking of people who have made a success thus far, last thing I'll say is a huge thank you to the players. So John, Arlen, Mo, thank you so much for playing today, guys. It's once again a very chatty session. So I think what we'll say is you guys are each going to walk away with 250 XP each. Nice. I don't know if you guys cast any spells in the...
I did some cure wounds.
Yep, you can count those. Absolutely. Yep, count that. Our fighters, you did not defeat any adversaries yet, but I'm fairly certain you may find something soon to make up for that. So anyway, for those listening at home, once again, thank you so much for joining us for this session. If you are joining us during the current pandemic, the crisis that gave rise to this campaign, we hope that this finds you healthy, safe, and weathering the current crisis as well as can be expected. We hope that we've given you a couple of hours of time to take your mind off of the troubles of our world and think of the troubles that our heroes in the Icewind Dale keep getting themselves into. Until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.